What's up, guys? Welcome back to Rise and Grind. Happy Monday, April 21. Absolutely bananas that we are in Q2. We are post-tax conversations. In most cases, most people probably filed extensions. The ones who didn't, good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so here we are. So we're after the good old April 15th. And we are getting after it here. So we got a lot of good topics that are going on right now. There's a ton of stuff that's happening in the industry as per freaking usual. And so one of the things that we'll dive into first here is Google being found as a monopoly.
Yeah. I actually don't think that I have that little banner there, but let's talk about it.
Yeah, so let's bring it up. So essentially, right now, what's going on is Google has been found as a monopoly by U.S. judges, and so in their advertising tech. So essentially, right now, they're in a situation where people are sitting there and they're saying, well, you know, Google is completely taking over the market, and they're in a position where they're not making it feasible for other people to compete with them. So like they own the ad space, especially when it comes to search. And so them being found as a monopoly means that, again, it could break up the company. And it's like, well, what does that mean for advertisers?
Yeah. I mean, for advertisers, and then even for organic search too, can't remember if it was a few months ago or it might have even been a year ago at this point, but they were saying that a lot of computers, a lot of internet software, it auto defaulted to Google as a search engine. And that was a monopoly too.
Right.
So a lot of devices had to stop doing that. But I mean, Google is just huge. I mean, I don't go to Bing, I don't go to Yahoo to search or do anything of that sort. And I don't know if it's like the trust factor that comes with those as much as Google's just interface. Like I just really like Google's easy to use. It's convenient. It was
really the first one that everybody used.
Right.
I mean, technically Yahoo was, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's like Google's the one that everybody adapted to early phase. And now we're all used to it. We know it. We like it. And it just, I don't know, it feels weird to go to Bing. It feels weird to go to different search engines. And so, again, we're going to see how it plays out. But right now, that's the circumstance, right? So, you know, last time we saw monopolies come down, I mean, not that it's the most recent, but, you know, when the oil companies had to be divvied up from Rockefeller, it literally went from one major oil company to then Chevron. And technically the guy still owned all these different companies. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens next. I know Google is so dominant that, and the CEOs and the founders of those platforms are not going to just be like, okay, well, we're going to just fold now and let everybody take over. So it's going to be interesting to see how this rolls out.
Yeah. The thing with Google is they have so many partnerships with other platforms, whereas Yahoo, Bing, other search engines don't, right? Like, YouTube is an example of that, which actually goes into one of the topics that I have here, which is YouTube is dominating the streaming market, which I was actually surprised to hear. And this is including Netflix, Hulu. Do you as your main? But you have Netflix too, right?
I do.
So
sure do.
The difference between those who are streaming on YouTube versus Netflix, YouTube owns 12% of the market share, whereas Netflix only owns 8%. So that's, 4% more, but still I was really, really surprised. And they're saying that number is increasing. So what that means for businesses, if you're looking at CTV ads, you really should consider it on YouTube, since that's where a lot of people are using their streaming.
100%.
And you can reach your audience that way.
Speaking of Google, I mean, when you think about it, it's like it's just an integration, right? Like everybody already if you want to watch a video, or if you still want to watch a video, you typically will go to YouTube. So like, YouTube something, it's a verb,
right?
Like go YouTube it. And, so at the end of the day, like people were already doing that. Now they're like, hey, all you have to do is, sign up for X amount of dollars a month and you could watch all of the TV shows you want to watch.
Yeah.
And I already know the YouTube platform. So I'm like, all right, that's easily integratable. I won't lie. The YouTube channel, we got it hooked up because of my in-laws.
Oh, really?
We're just my sister-in-law. But it's like, because we all, like I feel like everybody in families, maybe it's just me. Like I think it's my Netflix is hoard out to everybody. Like everybody has my Netflix account and my Peacock account.
Yeah.
And then we have like Hulu for my sister, and like Disney Plus we get because of Verizon. And then
there's so many. You're going through a list right now, and it's like, my gosh.
Right. And then YouTube TV we get from my sister-in-law. But it's like everything's for different things. Like Disney's obvious, for Disney Channel stuff for the kids. And then YouTube TV is for Jacqueline, and primarily Jacqueline to watch TV and watch whatever, TV she watches. And but live TV. So like the YouTube TV is now like what our old Comcast was, or Xfinity.
Well, it's funny because a lot of people decided to use streaming platforms to get away from cable to save money. But because there's so many, you end up paying the same amount as if you would have just had. Right. Yeah, definitely.
Honestly, if not more. And that's the crazy part. It's like, at the end of the day, if you really add up all the different channels and the bills, it's like,
it's a lot.
How much you're really saving? But I did know at one point though, like when I was living home with my parents and stuff, like Comcast to have like Stars and like HBO and all these different things, like it wasn't cheap. Like I remember like it'd be like 300 plus whatever, something like that a month.
Yeah, it's expensive
to have everything. But now, I mean, Netflix is, what is Netflix now? It's like $20.
No, I think 40. Maybe.
40.
I think so.
Let's look that up actually.
I feel like I pay $40
because the problem is this: whatever we were paying for the top package before, literally now you get ads. And I'm like, why am I getting freaking ads?
So that was oh my gosh, do you watch Black Mirror at all?
I just started watching.
Do you watch Black Mirror? You did.
I just started.
Oh, congratulations!
It's so boring.
Welcome to the club. Oh, you just gotta wait. You just gotta like.
Why is Helly not want to be there? She's like trying to run out of the building.
You just gotta wait and get into it. But
I left off where she tried to hang herself.
Oh gosh. Okay.
That was last night's episode.
Yeah.
And then she came back to work and she's like,
it gets freaked out. Good. You're gonna be so invested.
I'm like, I'm bored, but I'm like, what happens? Like, what are they doing?
Yeah, you have to watch. But Black Mirror is another good one. And they actually talk about this concept where with these you end up paying, $20 a month for the top tier package. And then a few months later, they'll say, oh, actually, now it has ads and you need to pay $50 a month.
To get
and so on and so forth. Yeah, their story is a little bit more dramatic because it's with someone's life. Like you're paying to stay alive. And then they keep increasing the cost, which what if you can't afford it after a while? But for Netflix, they are... So you're right. So the premium without ads is $24.99 a month.
What's the
and then the basic so the standard is $17.99.
How crazy!
And that's also without ads. I wonder what the difference between. Oh, it's the number of devices that you can have at a time.
It's the device amount and then the ads.
Yeah.
But the issue though, this is the issue. Obviously, I own an advertising company, so obviously I love ads. I don't watch TV though. So like the rare occasion that I'm going to watch TV, like previously it would be a situation where I'd be like, all right, I'm going to watch Netflix. Perfect example, actually. So has everybody here ever seen Lost, the show Lost?
A very long time
ago.
Yeah,
Lost. What's up, Lost? Yeah. So my brother Brandon got me into that. And I was like, this is boring too. But actually it's not boring because all of a sudden you're on an island. But then it's like, what's going on? Are they dead? Are they alive? Are they in purgatory? Where the hell are they? And so, but I remember I watched it on Peacock and I had to watch all the commercials. So I was like, oh, this is it's like 6 seasons or 7 seasons.
Yeah.
And I got really into it, but I had to freaking watch commercial. And then Brandon hits me up and he goes, yo, it's on Netflix. But this is before Netflix changed to ads for that plan I was on. So he was like, hey, it's on Netflix now and there's no ads. And I'm like, damn. I'm like, I'm going to rewatch it then. And I never did actually, but I was stoked because like you just keep watching and it makes it go so much faster.
Yeah, way faster. So
I don't know. That's the interesting part about Netflix. I always looked at it like one of the things where it's like, all right, cool. I get to watch uninterrupted, like commercial free type stuff, ad free type stuff. But now obviously they changed it.
They have the ads. Yeah. I have the Netflix without the ads, which I so prefer because Luna goes so crazy. My dog goes so crazy for any commercials. So
I know
I will pay a good amount of money to avoid commercials. Means not having her bark at the TV.
Ladies and the Tramp is going on.
Yeah, seriously.
But you know what though? And that brings it to one of the points though. It's like when you think about Netflix as an example, this is what's crazy. So like, in my opinion, obviously they're competing with Disney Plus and they're competing with all these different channels. But it's like, when you really think about it, this is the issue at the very, very top level of multinationals is that it stops becoming about how great a product is and starts to shift to only about how can you make more money. Because again, like I always love Netflix. Again, I'm not a big TV watcher, but like if I do watch TV, I always like that Netflix like didn't have ads and it's like super seamless, like Prime Video's like user interface and like just the UX of Prime Video versus Netflix is like not even comparable. Netflix is so simple, so easy. Prime Video, I think, is just like ugly looking and it's like not as easy. And it's at the end of the day, it's like, you know, Netflix was perfect. But to their shareholders, what happened? You need to make more money.
You always need to make more. There's always ways to make more money.
And that's what I'm saying. Exactly, so they're looking at like, all right, well, we're going to introduce ads. And then, you know, and so people who are just like used to like not having ads and liking it or like, all right, whatever, you just deal with it. But it's like, that's the problem is like, we don't always innovate for better user experience, or a lot of times at multinational level, we're innovating just to make more money because shareholders want more money and things got to keep increasing. And it's like, that's the crazy part about the world we live in.
You have to watch Black Mirror's episode. It's called Common People, and it's exactly on this concept.
Yeah.
Of
I'll probably never watch that show.
You should. Why?
I just don't watch TV. There's only one reason why I watch it.
I'm going to make you watch it. We're going to sit here in the office and I'm going to make you watch it. But we had a comment. Doreen is agreeing. She watches YouTube more than Netflix now too. Does YouTube have commercials?
It does. But I mean, you could, I'm pretty sure you could pay for commercial free. I think my sister-in-law and Mike don't have that plan. I actually, the cool part about it is you have the ability to skip and put on like a peaceful YouTube ad. Like, so as an example, like typically in the morning when I work out, I'll just put like the TV on and I'll stream like the news or something. And every time a commercial starts coming on or whatever, I'll skip it. And then it'll have like an apple pie being made with nice music in the background.
Oh, interesting.
Or like a fox running through the snow.
Wow, that's so nice.
It's literally so peaceful. And it's like, it just says YouTube and then that. And I'm like, okay, this is great.
That's so nice.
But YouTube, so far, I love YouTube actually.
Wow, I'm gonna have to try it out. I haven't used YouTube for streaming yet. But...
you guys got rid of everything though, right? You don't have Comcast, right?
Well, no. So I use Hulu has a plan where you can get live TV with that. Yeah. So we just have Hulu plus the live TV.
Got it.
Plus Netflix. Plus I did Apple TV's free trial because I was convinced that I would only need a week to get through Severance.
Yeah.
And I did not get through it in a week.
Really?
So
by the way, back to that. The only reason why I'm watching that, there's only one reason. It's because everybody in the company keeps talking about it.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, Severance, like your brain is shut off at work and whatever. I'm like, what are they talking about?
Yeah.
So I convinced Jacqueline, and she thinks it's boring right now too. But
really?
like,
you just gotta hang in there.
It's Helly's like just really shifting shit up here.
Yeah. Hang in there. It gets better.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
It's a little twisted. Plus, it's like right in our backyard in
I don't know how cool is that?
Yeah.
It's in Bellworks.
Yep.
It's so cool.
All right. You want to talk about the Gatorade collab?
Yes. So first off, everybody knows I love Drake. Okay. I'm a big Drake fan. Not saying anything about Canada, but I love Drake. Okay. OVO, Sixes, Drake. So I don't know. It's like every time I see Kendrick, I'm a little salty, but I do like Kendrick's music, so I don't have any issues with Kendrick besides the fact that he just keeps tearing up Drake.
Yeah.
And the fact that like during the Super Bowl pretty much like, I mean, the NFL pretty much allowed Kendrick to go on and call Drake a pedophile.
Isn't that crazy? Like, and had the whole stadium singing it.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't know. I love Drake. I grew up loving Drake. And anyway, but I saw this, and so he's doing a collab now with Gatorade. And again, just kind of getting into the same thing they've always done about like, you can overcome the things you want to do and just doing it and stuff like that. So right now they're doing a collab with him. I just thought it was interesting because like it's the first one that I've seen that's a music collab with Nike, like a sports company. So it's like, all right, well, you see that type of Gatorade collabing with a singer.
That's really interesting, actually.
You know what I mean? It's like it's like what is?
I feel like it's always been sports oriented.
All their epic, like huge legacy ads have always been like about Michael Jordan, the famous USA soccer player girl, like, anything you could do, I could do better. Like that whole ad, like, or just do it, or the cool stuff with Jordan or LeBron, like, so anyway, so it's just interesting that they're doing a Kendrick Lamar one. Why didn't they ask Drake?
Why didn't they ask Drake? Probably not
Did you see
the hottest choice right now.
Did you see that thing when he was in Australia, the drone footage? Like somebody
of his house, of someone.
No,
was it like of him and no.
So you didn't see it?
No.
Did you see it, Emily? Damn, nobody knows anything going on with Drake anymore.
Who's Drake?
It went viral though. It went viral because essentially he was in Australia on tour, and he had this sick, like massive penthouse. I don't know what building it was in, but it was in a sick, tall ass building. And somebody flew a drone up, and they were flying around the top, and he was like on his laptop outside, and he had an orange. I don't know if it was a Yeezy or whatever kind of sandal that he had, but he wound up like throwing the sandal at the drone and missed.
Oh my god!
And then it went into the river or whatever the hell body of water that thing is right next to, because it's on the water. And then it went viral because their version of a Coast Guard found the orange sandal and was like, "Hey Drake, we love when you come here, whatever else, but don't litter in the ocean."
Oh my god!
Because like this orange sandal was just floating. Whatever it was, I don't know if it was the ocean or not, but nonetheless, so that went viral for like a few weeks because he just like threw. And it's funny because Drake was like, "What the hell is this?" And he like ran inside and then came out and like threw a sandal and ran back inside again because like a drone was just flying around. But
you know what? I gotta say though, it must be hard to not have any privacy at all when you're famous like that. Like he's just chilling.
Well, you know what it's like, and where Megan goes.
Yeah, okay.
She leaves her house. Megan.
No, seriously though. Like imagine you're just hanging out in your backyard and you have drones flying to see what you're doing.
That's what I'm saying. You understand it.
Yeah.
No, actually, we were just having this conversation because I have a few friends of mine who were like potentially going to be on some reality TV shows, and they're already successful. And I was like, my biggest thing to them was always like, listen, like if I was ever given an opportunity to be on reality TV, it would only have to be for business segment. Like if it was like a business thing, like I would totally do it. Like nothing drama, nothing reality TV like that. But they were going to be on a reality TV show, and I was like, listen, like you go on this, you're already successful. The problem is like when you're out, if you're having a shitty day and you're just going to, pick up your dry cleaning, or if you're going to a restaurant with your wife and you're having a rough day, like, dude, like no people privacy. Still like, look at Justin Bieber. I feel so bad for that dude.
Yeah.
He's just always like, right now they keep like putting stuff on. It's always in my Explore page and on TikTok, but it's like anywhere this dude goes, he gets crushed the paparazzi. And he just always, oh my gosh, I hate to say it, but Justin Bieber, like he just looks like, Justin Bieber right now looks like his physical like aesthetic right now. Like he just looks like a roofer that gets his paycheck and disappears.
Oh no!
Like he just looks terrible right now.
He does. He looks disheveled. He looks like he's going through a tough time. It's actually sad. Like it makes me. It's like stop taking pictures of him.
Maybe that's
him.
Maybe that's his public persona. He's like, I don't want to look happy. I don't know. Whatever. But the whole point though is like that's the problem with that whole shit. It's like when you are just trying to be your normal self, like and you're out in public, like people. They want to see who you are. And that's why I remember when I was growing up, I used to like love and look up to Michael Jordan, like most dudes did. And it's like, everybody was like, he's an asshole. Like he was known for being an asshole. And I remember being like, what? Like, that's crazy. But then he like was on an interview and they're like, why are you always so mean to people when they want your autograph? And he's like, because like my time is on the basketball court. Like when I'm off the basketball court, that's my time, not your time. And I get it. Like, and well, it's like, it's crazy. So either way, I'm with you on that. But Megan, she gets it. She can't go to brunch. She can't go to lunch.
No, I don't want that.
She can't get a coffee.
I don't know if I would want that. I like my privacy. Like
Megan, you would fucking die if you had that life.
I would not. I would be so overstimulated all the time.
But most of us would actually. Honestly, yeah. As much as like back then when we first started recording stuff for like Adapting Social, like way back in the day. Like I remember like, oh yeah, I want to get famous, whatever. Like, and like now obviously like being like a father and like, like I'm always talking to people because of work and stuff. And I would definitely not want that life. Like no way.
Yeah. Also from like a safety component too. Like it's just
totally like, look at like, I don't know if you knew this, but like when that whole Luigi Mangione thing happened, like 90% of healthcare insurance CEOs deleted it off their LinkedIn and off of the company websites.
Oh, where they were working and who they were.
Like who they were. Yeah. When you think about it, it's like, you don't want people to know your business, know what's going on. Cause again, like you could be attacked, you could be whatever. And that's the scary part.
It is very scary. Yeah. And not everyone understands. So you have some loonies out there. Yeah.
100%.
Very scary. But so Gatorade is using Kendrick Lamar, which I'm sure they paid a pretty penny for. I could imagine that they paid a lot of money. Yeah. And what we're seeing is now there's also a rise in virtual influencers where these brands can essentially make an avatar. It could be a cartoon, or it could look like a real person. And they can use that virtual influencer to market their products, their services, whatever, they be the spokesperson for them too. Right. And I've seen it for a few different reasons, but it's going viral right now. I don't know if you saw this, where there's a guy who's connected through OnlyFans, but he's using an AI feature to make him look like a woman. Stop. And he's making so much money by doing this. Yeah, but it's just because he has this virtual influencer, essentially, who is masked over him. So there's a huge rise. YouTube actually reported that the videos that had virtual influencers in it had up to 50 billion views. On those videos. So
50 billion?
50 billion views.
People are creeps. Yeah. People are creeps. Freaking
seriously.
Get all hot and bothered by an AI.
You know what? As AI progresses more and more, we're not going to be able to tell what is, a virtual influencer versus a real influencer, which is going to be crazy.
By the way, Emily gave us the 5-minute shot clock. We're probably at 4 minutes now. So what do we got next?
Okay.
By the way, Megan thought, so who we got next?
Yeah, this one.
Rory?
Yep.
So real quick, super quick. Megan thought that this was a basketball player. She's like, Grand Slam's got to be a basketball player. I'm like, Megan, that's baseball. If you think Grand Slam, but it's okay. We love you still. But anyway, so the one thing about Rory's story that's so amazing is, like, if you look back so many times, like if you see actors in movies like Vince Vaughn, like we all think that Vince Vaughn's just been this huge actor and like he's been around, but like when you look at some of these different clips of him, like in older movies when he was still just trying to become an actor, he's been in the game for such a long time. And same thing with Rory. Like when I saw Rory, like as a kid, his dad teaching him how to play golf as literally a freaking child.
That's cute.
He's been after this for so long. Actually, how old is he? Can you go there real quick?
Yeah.
But literally since he's a freaking kid, he's been after it and putting his fucking life behind golf.
35.
He's 35. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So since he's a kid, so he's put in well over 2 decades into this craft. And so when people are like, oh, wow, Rory won, cool, like whatever, it's like, no, this dude literally has been doing this since he's a child. And it just makes you think about business or your career or everything we're doing. And I think the takeaway here for anybody watching, whether, again, you're trying to grow in your career, start a business, build your business, go bigger and better places, build better relationships, whatever it is you're trying to do, your health, at the end of the day, if you're in something so long and you're dedicated to your craft and you're never going to stop it, there's only one thing that could happen. You have to become better than everybody else. You have to become, and again, like even if you don't become better than everybody else, you have to become better than you were at the beginning. And I think that's the point of it. When you see that, I was so inspired. I don't really watch golf that much. I'm terrible at golf. I'm the guy who goes and smokes cigars and likes to friggin' have a good time. But it's like at the end of the day, like when I saw that, I was like, damn, like that's such an inspiring story. Like he's been doing this for so long. And if you stick to something and you don't deviate and you keep going, eventually you could become the best at something. And again, if you look at this dude, lost plenty of times over the past 2 decades. Yeah. And some people are like, damn, like why is he still doing it? He lost so many times, or he didn't win this or whatever. But bottom line is, if you stay in it, you have the potential to keep winning and get better and better. And that's the key. So I just wanted to shout that out real quick because I'm not a big golf guy, but I thought that was super inspiring since he just won the Masters and got his green jacket.
That's awesome. Very motivational. A great way to end.
So guys, happy freaking Monday, April 21. I hope everybody crushes their week ahead. And we'll see you back next week for Rise and Grind on Monday at 9 a.m.